Hi everyone, welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here with day number 9 of Junk Journal Round Robin. Please check us out. I am hosting this with RedParrot and ChellesCreativeChaos. Make sure to check out their channels, and jjroundrobin is our hashtag. So for day number 9, let's see what my round robin partners here have sent me. So this is from Mary Ellen, this little wrapped up lovely bit. So we'll just unwrap it here in this pretty tissue. Okay, so it is a little embroidery floss in green and white, and it says Friends Forever. That's so cute. Okay, so we'll set those aside. And from Shell, we have, feels sort of like a card. Okay, so it's a couple of cards of like angels. So they're postcards. Marsha Littman's Angels postcard book. Okay. Kind of cool. I like them. All right. So let's set this other stuff here aside. And you know, I think what I feel like doing is a project I haven't done in a while, but like some time ago I did. So I think let's unravel here this screen, and we're going to thread a needle. Okay. Let's think about what would make these fun. So on this one we have like the bottom of an angel, the wings, the arm. So I'm trying to think of like what kind of a stitched decoration could make this, you know, uniquely interesting. Well, let me think. If I did okay. I need to think of some composition as an idea for a moment. Give me one moment. Okay, so I feel like I need like a secondary theme than just angels to kind of make sense of this. So I'm grabbing this botanical flora book. Well, the only thing with these is that they do have an outline to them, which is kind of a pain, but it's okay. Just going to cut the blue outline off the edge. Put that one there. Then we need just searching for the right flower. Perhaps this one. Yeah, we'll go with that one. I like the leafiness of it. But again, I want to cut around. Okay. And this one, I'm going to kind of sway it a little this way. So now we have something that we can work with. So I'm going to start at the back here, and I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to start right in this hand here and just tie a knot. Here. And then I'm going to basically stitch across to the flower. Okay. Then, let me think. I'm going to kind of, I haven't done much stitching in a while. I kind of like feel a little rusty, but I think I know what I'm trying to do here. Let's see if this works. Yeah, it will. Okay. We're just going to stitch some little leaves here. I think I might need to try to stay on camera here a little better. Stitching is one of those things that I typically do up close to myself. Okay, we've got some leaves. And then I think what I'd like to do is maybe come in again through these holes and stitch between the other stitches to make a more solid stem. Going from her hand over to the flower itself. Oops. And then I'll go down into the leaf. Bring that back up. And I find when you do stitching on a journal card or something like this, that it takes very little stitching to make a really interesting and impactful, cool piece. Okay, so now I'll bring those leaves in. Oops. Okay, so see the detail here? Just a little bit of detail, 2 leaves and a stem. But then what I'd like to do, I'm going to make a few holes around, just all around the flower. And then one more out a little bit from the flower. In a few different places. And these are essentially going to be guides for a French knot. So to do a French knot, you can wrap it around 2 times or 3 times. I forget, there's a name for the 3 wraps. I can't remember. It's not quite a bouillon, but it's kind of between a French knot and a bouillon. but I like 3 wraps, and I also like to pull them a little loose when I'm stitching on paper, because when you pull a little loose, you get a little bit more of a kind of a furl of the color going around. And you can do booleans too, which is just more and more wraps, as many as you like. Typically at least 5 when you're doing a boolean. But there is some white in this, which I also like, because, you know, leaves are typically not a solid green all the time. They have different shades, and often they have white in them. Maybe I'll do 5 wraps on this one, so we're getting into the boolean kind of world here, making bigger bumps. Okay. I'll show you what the back is looking like. So I'm just kind of going from like the next to the next closest hole, essentially to where I currently am positioned, and then doing my boolean. And on to the next hole. Okay, we're almost on this one. And you'll see it doesn't take very long to just do a bit of stitching on paper, and like what you get is something really nice and unique. And when you're making a journal, this is a nice little touch to have a bit of this kind of stitching. I have a video, I think, somewhere where I do a lot of stitching on a couple different journal cards where I create sort of a garden in this way, and it's really pretty. Oops. And every now and then you might get a little tangle. You just got to sort of slow down, come back to what you were doing, and just kind of pull it through again. And every now and then, like right now, you're going to have to pull it all the way out and resolve a little tangle like this one, which happens because, you know, these kind of threads have multiple plies, so they do like to tangle sometimes. And usually you can resolve it by trying to get your needle into one of the, you know, loops of the knot through all the plies, and just kind of give it a little tug back and forth, and you'll eventually be able to get it out. I used to spend a lot of time working with yarn and thread, and on the website Ravelry.com there used to be a group of women who, I say women, it was probably mostly women, but knitters I'd say, or untanglers, and their whole thing that they did was you could send tangled up skeins of yarn to them and they would untangle them for like, you know, a fee, sort of. Like maybe you would send them 2 skeins of yarn, they would untangle the one for you that you need for your project, and your payment to them was to give them that second skein of yarn that you send to them. It's really a cute idea. Some people just really love to untangle things. Me, not so much. I'm going to take a little break to untangle this and I'll be right back. Okay, so instead of super untangling the whole thing, I just did a longer bouillon with more wraps, and it actually just looks really nice. So there's more than one way to resolve a problem, and that's my way. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we will be on our last hole. So go back in. And I'll do a long one to show you what I mean by a longer bouillon. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15 wraps around the needle. And we're just going to pull it back a little bit here. Get it a little closer to the hole and go into the hole. Then you kind of give like a little bit of a wiggle to the stitches that are on, and just sort of turn your needle a bit. And you'll feel like it will begin to kind of loosen a little bit as you're coming through. And you can just kind of pull them a bit. It's a bit of finagling on paper. This is certainly easier when you're, you know, stitching on a cloth. But yeah. I do this for you guys. I'm finagling this thing. There we go. So see, now that's all come through and we have a bit of a bigger bouillon, right? So let's just go to the back now. Head back on over to where the original stitches were over here. Just going to stitch through them a couple of times. And then before I tie a knot, I'm just going to kind of look at my final product. Am I happy with that? Does it need more? I think I might do another one up here, just to add a little bit more green. Five little wraps there. There we go. Yeah, that feels more balanced to me. So now we can go ahead, head back over to the original stitches, because there's a nice clump of, like, you know, stitches there, and you can come in and just kind of tie your knot. And I usually do my typical like I usually do 3 knots to fasten. And just keep it nice and tight, but don't tear your paper, of course. And try not to bulk anything up too much, because you're going to want to cover the back of this for writing space. Okay. I'll cut the excess off here. So that's that one. I think that's a lot of fun. Now, let's rethread the needle here. Let's tie a knot at the end. There we go. And then I think for this one, I'm going to come through underneath the poppy. Let me think what I want to do. How do I want to do this? I might just do a split stitch all the way down. split stitch, you're just going to come back and go into the center of the last stitch. So you go a little lower, and then into the center. And that gives you a pretty nice looking connected stitch. Maybe one more. Okay. I kind of like the simplicity of that. Just, you know, a simple length like that. I think it looks quite nice. I don't feel the need to make it super leafy. Sometimes less is more, right? We got a little loop there. Can I? No. We're going to cut that loop off. It's fine. And then I'll just kind of go through a few of these again. Thread back up a little and tie a knot as I go. Whoops. There we go. Rethread my needle because I forgot to leave enough of a tail, and we'll do one more knot. There we go. And I will save the rest of this thread probably for sewing signatures into something. Then I do have a bit of coffee dyed lace over here, and I think that would be a really nice accent on this. So let's get an idea for how this would look. Should I do it at the top? Yeah, maybe the top. So we'll go with 1 and 2. Then I need my vintage photo. Walnut stain. Where is vintage photo? Oh, maybe down here. There it is. These are all going to tumble around here if I don't straighten them up. I have this little bin of things on my desk that are like, use these things up next, and it is full. So that coffee dyed lace is coming on out of there. That's a good thing. Okay, I'm just gonna clean this brush off and then go on into this and see how. Do I want to use this brush or do I want to use my round brush? I think my round brush, because this is that kind of material that like it stains with ink, which is great. It's like how shiny paper will stain, and actually this is a good example of that. See how the ink just stains right into it? It's not like floating. So I'll come in with that again. And it's just going to, I think, blend these nice white edges to be more subtle brown to go with the rest of the piece, and it will bring it all nicely together. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Let's just see how inking the edge would look. No, I kind of like the whole thing stained. There we go. Then we need to back this. And I think I'll back it on packaging paper because it's nice and thin. Okay. Just gonna glue stick it. Okay, so both of those are down. I think what I'll do now is just kind of cut them out right to the edge. There we go. And just give everything a press on the back. Don't stress about this being a little bumpy. It's not a big deal. I will give you an option for that actually once we come back from stitching. So I'm going to head over to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch this on the top of these and I'll be right back. So we have stitched around these, lace is added on top. I really like how that looks. So now if we look at the back, okay, so here's what we have. See, that's a little tiny bit bumpy there. Now you can determine, would it bother me to write on the back of that with those stitches bumpy there? Maybe this one's a little more annoying. I could have certainly done it slightly neater, but I think that it really doesn't matter. But another option, just come in and kind of measure in between your stitching, right? So like 4 1/4 for that one and a little less for that one, maybe by not quite 6, 5 1/2. Okay, so if we come in and just take this, oh, I'm gonna have to fold this. This is my little cutter. How big did I leave that? Let's see. Yep, that's fine. So let's go to about 4 1/4 here. Did I say that was 5? That's 5 1/2. I like this aqua color. Let's see. Maybe a little bit smaller. Okay. Let's come in with some walnut stain. I'm sorry, scorched timber. Yeah. just to outline it a little bit. Not super heavily or anything. One. Okay. That's those. Then I'm going to grab my art glitter glue. And we'll just add a little bit around the edge. This will just be a little floaty writing space on here. And that will give you like that nice kind of more firm surface to write on so that the stitching doesn't impact you. I just really like the color of this paper also with that stitching. I think it really just looks nice. Brings a little bit of lightness to the brown. All right, so that is my little project for today, and that was a lot of fun. I like how those turned out. So thank you for joining me for this little make. Don't forget to check out Shell and Mary Ellen on their channels. My description box has all the details about Junk Journal Round Robin, and I'll talk to you again soon. Tomorrow, in fact. Bye for now.